Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about one of the basic things that you should have when living off-grid, and that is a light source. Now, you know, on this channel I've done other kind of flashlights and spotlights before, indoors and outdoors, utility and anything else, because I find it very important for when you're living a lifestyle that doesn't always provide electricity. You need to make sure you have at least some sort of light. And this time I'm going to show you the OLIGHT flashlight. Now, this thing, not only is it a flashlight, but it's a floodlight, a spotlight, a UV light, and a green laser. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what it's all about. Alright, so when you first get your OLIGHT, you'll just go ahead and tear the little plastic tape piece off. And you'll go ahead and just open it up, and this is what you'll see. You'll see a little piece of clear paper. It's like wax paper, and it kind of shows you what all the options are. It shows UV, pure flood, spot, center button, and then rotate the selector back and forth. And then on the side will be your laser beam, and on this side is a USB-C charging port. And then here is the flashlight. On the bottom there is a charge to activate before first use, because not only does this have a USB-C port, it also charges by sitting it on a magnetic plate. And you can just set it on there and it will charge just like that. So we'll be pulling that out here in a second. And that's what's on the bottom half of this. Here is probably the user's manual. Yes, the specifications and all of this information right here. And then here is the little charging plate, like I was saying. All right, after looking at this manual for a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and make a PDF of this manual, this side and this side. So if you wanna look at it, you can. But it just gives you every option and every operating instruction for all three of the lights that they have: the ArkPro Lite, the ArkPro, and the ArkPro Ultra. So if you want to look closer at that, go ahead and click on the PDF in my description. Just to look at the light, first of all, it's made out of some sort of aluminum, or I think it's aluminum. It feels very robust, I know that. Let's go ahead and take off this charge to activate before first use. And there's also a sticker right here that says, if a streak appears around the laser dot, gently clean the glass with a cloth. Okay, so we're going to take that off. And that's how the front of it looks right there. You can see that there are three different types of lights in there. On the side here is the USB-C charging port, and this is actually like a piece of plastic that flicks down. So it kind of covers it up. It's not like that rubber material, it's like plastic. And then on this side is the laser pointer button right there. We do have a belt clip. So let's go ahead and plug in the charger to this little battery bank right here and see, oh, and the charger lights up green. Not sure if you can see that, but that's kind of nice. It lights up right there. And then you just, oh yeah, that's very magnetic. Okay. Oh, and look at that. And then once you put it on the charger, it does turn to a red. And then once this is fully charged, I'm gonna go ahead and run it through its paces. All right, well, I charged this OLIGHT ArkPro up all the way using the MCC magnetic charger. I think I read in the manual that if you actually plug it into the USB-C port, it takes about an hour and a half to charge. But if you use the magnetic charger, it takes about twice that long, so about 3 hours from completely dead to full. And I just charged it from this little battery bank right here, and it worked just fine. And so I've been messing with this flashlight for the past, like, I don't know, 12 hours or so. And I think it's really neat. I mean, when it comes to flashlights, this is definitely gonna be my go-to. Let me at least show you what's built into this little button right here. All right, here's a close-up of the flashlight, and also a close-up of my disgusting fingers. Please don't comment on those. But you can see that this right here is the center button, and so you can turn the flashlight on and off, and you can see in the center that there is a battery gauge on one side and a brightness gauge on the other. So as soon as you press it, that's off, and you can see that battery gauge. It has 4 little symbols, and then it goes away after a couple seconds. You can turn this, and this, if you turn it this way, it turns it into a spotlight. And again, it shows you the brightness on this side and the battery on this side. And then you can turn it off and switch it to floodlight, or you can just switch it and switch it from flood to spotlight. And then you can also switch it to UV light right here. So if you double press it, it goes into full power mode. So let's go ahead and do that. And that's full power. And you can switch it from full power flood to full power spotlight. But if you switch it to UV, UV is only going to be one power setting, because you really don't need for your UV light to be brighter or dimmer for this flashlight. And then on the side over here, this is your laser pointer. And you can actually make that, there's 2 settings on that. So if you hold it down, it makes it a little less of a green point or a brighter green point. Let's go ahead and turn that off. And there was one thing that I was kind of reading in the ad, I guess you could say, and it said like 3 + 1 = 7. And I was like, what? But then I see what they're saying, because there's 3 settings on here. Let's look at the flashlight again. There's 3 settings on here. There's UV, there's floodlight, and then there's spotlight. So you can use all 3 of those. And then there's also the laser pointer. But you can use the floodlight and the laser pointer at the same time. So if you mix all of those together, you know, you have your 3 modes, and then you have your laser, but then you can use your laser pointer along with the other 3 modes. So that kind of gives you 7 modes of operation. But I honestly think there's more, because like you can turn the flashlight on, you can turn it off, but if you long press it, it goes down to the minimal setting. So it's called moonlight setting. And then if you long press it again, it goes up 1 step. So it will continuously get brighter up like 4 steps, I think. So there's the 3rd step, there's the 4th step, and then if you hold it again, it turns off. Or no, I'm sorry, it goes back to the minimum moonlight setting. And you can do that with your floodlight and your spotlight. And then if you triple press the button, you get a strobe. And there is one more feature that I want to show you about this flashlight. There is a lockout feature. So if for some reason you know, you have it in your duffel bag or in your pocket or something like that, and you want to make sure that it doesn't turn on, you can actually lock it so the button doesn't work. And how you do that is, if the flashlight's off, you long press the center button for 2 seconds, and it shows a little light lockout screen, or a little lockout icon on the button. So let's go ahead and do that. So long press it, and there it is right there. You can see the little lock button. And then all you gotta do to get out of lock is hold it down for a second, and then the light turns back on. Okay, and now finally, I just want to show you an example of how bright this flashlight can actually get. Currently in this room, I use a combination of 9 different lights in order to kind of give this atmosphere right here. But I'm going to go ahead and turn all those off and shine this flashlight just to show you how bright it really is. So let me get all the lights turned off. All right, this is about as dark as I can get the room. And let's go ahead and put this flashlight on moonlight mode on floodlight. And there is moonlight mode. You can barely, I mean, it's seriously, it's not much light at all. But you can handle this, it can handle this amount of light for like 145 hours or something like that. It says it on that documentation that I have attached in the description. But let's go ahead and step it up. That's the next level right there. And that we're starting to get so we can actually see what's going on. Here's the next level. That's level 3. And right there is what I would say a typical flashlight is that I own. Here's level 4. And right here, that I mean, that is bright. That is a very nice flashlight right there. And then here is the turbo level number 5. And as you can see, I mean, it lights up this entire room, basically. It's brighter than all of the lights combined that I have on usually in this room when I film. All of this light coming from this small little form factor, in my opinion, is very impressive. So if you have any questions about the ArkPro from OLIGHT, please go ahead and leave them in the comments. I have a link to this item along with a discount code in my description, just in case you want to look further into it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and have a great day. Bye-bye.